Hey friends, welcome back out to the channel today. This is Culture Redneck Garage here. I think last time I did a video, I had gotten engines switched over from the Smurfmobile to Dougie Buggy and vice versa, back and forth. We swapped the engine and put the old 1641 on Smurfmobile and sent that on to my dad's, where it's ready to go riding anytime we want to go riding. And with that said, I am got this here now and conforming to the 1 piece of crap per yard rule, and that is my 1 piece of crap for the yard for now. Let's see here, I'm trying to think. I think when I left off, what we had to do was essentially I had to go in, and I hadn't gotten any disc brake. I'm not sorry, not disc brakes. Any brake shoes. They were really in bad shape on this, and so were the pistons for the brakes there. And anyways, redid all that mess, and now we're ready to rock and roll and stop, because that's very important. Before all that happened, I noticed I had one heck of a gear oil leak. I'd filled this thing up with gear oil, which, by the way, this thing was dry whenever I got it years ago, and a little bit of moisture in the bottom, which is never a good thing in a Transaxle. But all of a sudden, once I got it moving again, this thing sprung a big leak, and I looked all over for the leak. Come to find out, these crappy vinyl swing axle boots, you see that rip right there? That was it was on this side on the bottom. That was causing a massive leak anytime I'd fill her up, and that it's no good. And so that's probably why the Transaxle was completely kaput of gear oil whenever I found this thing. With that said, I'm almost afraid that the previous owner drove this thing dry, which is bad, and I'll tell you why I think that in a minute. But anyways, we got new boots on. These vinyl things suck. Rubber is what you want to do if you can do it, and so that's what I did. I put on some vinyl ones. So today's video is just going to be a drive. That's all we're going to do. In fact, I've got, see my mower there in the background. Apparently it's wanting to not crank on me. I think it's having to do with the switch, but we'll confirm that later. So yeah, this is going to be a drive, a test drive to see and to confirm what I think is a problem. Essentially, now that I got a quieter engine on here, quieter exhaust, I can tell that there's a problem. When in neutral, I can hear a slight growl in the Transaxle. And then when I put my foot on the clutch, it goes away. Meaning, anytime that throw-up bearing is engaged, that noise tends to dissipate. That tells me what I think we're going to find is that we've got a bad main shaft bearing in the transmission, among potentially other problems. That's not an uncommon thing to go bad in these Volkswagens over time, especially if it's been ran dry. So I think that's what we're going to find, but I'm going to take a test drive. So I think I'm going to have to pull that. It's something I don't really want to do. I don't have the time to do it, to be honest with you. It's going to be into June before I can do that. And we're here in May. So yeah, anyways, let's fire this baby up. Let me tell you what I'm kind of getting at. Uh-oh, she's in gear. That was a dumb move. There we go. Oh, always check that. Eesh. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. A little growl. Listen to it when we put the clutch in. Oh, it gets quieter. Oh, hear it? Yep, that's it. Well, let's take her for a spin and see what she does. All right, guys, I hope, number one, you can hear me, and number two, my phone doesn't fall off of what I've got it on. This is a great case for a GoPro. So let's take this baby down the neighborhood and see what what we can find out. Oh yeah, she's nice and loud. I can hear it. Well, you know, there's nothing quite as redneck as taking a loud pile of junk through $1 million neighborhoods. But you know what? I think they expect that from me. It's all good. It's loud. Yeah, I think I'm just going slow here, but I can hear a little loud growl in that transaxle, and I don't know anything else it could be. See how it's quiet now? I don't know anything else it could be besides that, and who knows? The last thing I want to do is pull out a transaxle. You know, sometimes you gotta do it. There's still little girls out there playing on the sprinkler. Well, one good thing is stopping. And number two, it does shift fine through the gears. Man, I don't know. I guess it's going to have to be a complete rebuild, but it rattles. Unless I've got the engine running, which I don't think I do. It does get louder with the RPMs. Well, it's a nice day for a cruise, nevertheless. This will be a great buggy once it's all done. But I'll tell you what, I am going to have to make it quieter. We can't do this. Of course, I do have tractor tread tires. That doesn't help. Suspension is stiff, definitely for off-road. That's okay. The engine's running good. That's always a good thing. One less problem. Oh, there. I tell you what, and when I have it, the clutch pushed in and it rolling, it does have a slight noise. That might be indicative of maybe the diff bearings are messed up. I don't know. Oh, hey. People love these old things. You don't see them too often. Even if it is have rusty spots and stuff like that. So I just had somebody stop and say how cool that was. It'd be even cooler if it was quiet. Somebody barbecue it. Maybe I'll stop by and see if we can grab a sandwich. Yeah, I can hear I can hear as I'm coasting those carrier bearings rolling. And this thing is full of good transaxle fluid or whatever, gear oil. I like the gearing. This is a 437 ring gear, which is compared to the 412 that I have, and I like how it's sort of a slow or closer gear ratio. That's something to think about. Back to the house. Yeah, let's get back to the house and I'll give you a little kind of what I've got in my mind. We'll see. Home sweet home. All right, gang. Well, we are back from our cruise. I hope you enjoyed that. I actually, despite the loud clanking noises coming from my transmission, I actually enjoyed that little cruise. It was nice, boy, but it would have been perfect had she been everything good in there. And all I had to do going forth on this project is clean up the rusty chips and rewire some things, and slam bam, we're ready to rock and roll. But that's not the case. So I've been sitting here thinking a minute about the way forward on this and potentials we could do. Now, in reality, we're not going to know anything until we pull that transmission, but you don't have to be Nostradamus to predict that there's probably some bearing issues there, and probably not just the main shaft, likely the diff carrier bearings, because those were a little noisy. And I got gear oil in there, so I mean it's all lubricated, so that's not the issue. So I just think that it definitely, I think it was run dry. Now sadly I can look through the oil fill hole, and somebody's been in there before working on this thing. The synchros look brand spanking new. There's no curvature on them at all. It's nice and sharp, and the tits on the gears that hold all that in place, that looks good. So I mean, it surprises the heck out of me that we're getting noise. So I don't know, we may get in there and we may find that that's the only problem, is just those bearings, and we just fix it and move on with life. One potential thing we can do, if we get in there and we're like, oh gosh, this is crazy, everything's ruined, let's start fresh. What I could do, I could take a cheaper route, and I could take that old 6-volt 4-bolt pinion head case and put me in an IRS. This is a 72, which would have the later style pinion bearing and nut. I like that better personally. That's just me. It doesn't mean it's any better than the 4-volt, but whatever. And I could convert this whole case back to a swing axle, not a problem. By doing that, I would be going to a 412 ring gear, which is better for highway use. But like I said, I kind of like that 437. I've never ran one other than in my dad's. He's got a buggy. He's got a 437, and it feels good. It's not as low as a bus transaxle and bus gearing. It's kind of like a good in between the 412. It just feels really peppy, especially with an engine like that. I don't know. I kind of would like to keep that. We'll see what happens. So anyways, if we were to go with this 412 and this whole thing, this is actually a pretty good gear stack. I mean, it doesn't have any, I don't think I'd run into any problems with the, you know, it staying in gear or anything. The teeth look good. The bearings, I mean, there's no noise. It's just kind of dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. It was kind of stored in the transaxle for a long time, and it was dirty oil, but you know, no big deal. We can clean that up. What I would do if I did do this, I do have a sort of a beefier side gear, aluminum side gear that I had sitting around. I'm not going to be using on anything else because I don't own another swing axle. So I would throw that bad boy on there just for, hey, why not? We got it, and that would make it strong. But we could do that, and we would everything I own would have the late model sort of pressure plate and that sort of thing. Which I need to get a Kennedy stage 1 for that one. I got a stage 2 and a stock. I got a stock one on this one right now, and the stage 2 is too big. It's partially why I broke my IRS on the Smurfmobile at the racetrack. Don't overclutch. That's a great thing I learned. Sometimes learning comes with a cost. Anyways, we could do that. So that's not the end of the world. I'd almost think if I did this, you know, of course I'll have a 412 ring gear. It's not going to bolt to the diff that's in that one, because that one's probably carrying, what is that, it's probably a 6-bolt ring gear if I had to guess, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 412s are 8. So I'll probably have to buy a super diff. So this whole project's going to come at some cost. It ain't going to be a freebie. You know, obviously, if we don't have to buy other stuff other than carrier bearings and wheel bearings, we're not out that much if we go that route or this route, either way. But if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have a super diff, which is not a bad thing to have in the first place. So there's that cost, and wheel bearings and all that thing. I don't know what to do. We're not going to know until we pull the bad boy out. And sadly, that's going to be the end of June before I can do that. I got too many things going on. I've been out of town, going back out of town, going to Canada. So yeah, that's life for you in the big city, man. So yeah, we're still not going anywhere with this project. We'll get it done, and we'll get that thing pulled out. If we can just stay on it, it'll, I think, go relatively quick. But I just gotta commit to it. Anyways, well, guys, I think this video has gotten long enough, and I hope you had a good time with me. I sure did. Unfortunately, like I said, we got some things to do on this, but it's all fun. Anyways, until next video, which may be a little while, you take it easy. God bless your family, and y'all have a great time, and I'll see you when I get back.